And welcome everyone to Physically and Financially Fit with Dawn, where we help you become fit physically, mind, body, and spirit so that your finances can be fit. And I'm really excited for today's guest. We have Dr. Stan Harris on with us today. And his bio is so impressive that I'm actually going to read it, which I don't normally do because I don't want to miss one thing. So let me read his bio, and then we're going to bring him on to share some great tips with you network marketers out there. Dr. Stan Harris, also known as Dr. Breakthrough, is a 10th degree black belt who has been inducted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame as well as the Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame. He has been a college professor with a doctorate in divinity and a PhD in martial arts. He has been a successful network marketer, life and business trainer and coach, author, master marketer, and most importantly, a minister of the gospel. He has driven over 3 million miles using a combination of his martial arts skills along with his energetic ability to move crowds as large as 17,000. I thought 2,000 I spoke in front of was a lot. 17,000. He has spoken in all 50 states, 28 countries, and listen to this one, earning as much as $47,000 in 1 hour. He is the world's first breakthrough speaker. He has been to the top pay structures of 7 different home-based business companies. He personally sponsored 827 people, resulting in an organization of 1.5 million distributors. He wrote a book about his team building principles called How to Build a Big Team Fast, which is what we all want to do. And now he does generic training for many companies and top leaders. He has co-authored 8 books. He is perhaps the most entertaining, and I can vouch for that, enlightening and electrifying speaker on the circuit today. He has been the spokesperson and or training director for several companies. He's been featured in numerous magazines or radio TV shows. He is married to Nadia, who he calls ABCD, which is so cute, adorable brown caramel delight. Now they reside just outside of Dallas, Texas, and they also empower others to write, publish, and market their own books. Dr. Breakthrough, thank you so much for saying yes to the show. We're so excited to have you.
Well, hey, it's a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure to be with you. And we appreciate how you are empowering people. And so that's why we just connected so well. So I always say, people, business is booming, checks are zooming. I'm happy on purpose, just like you.
Oh, thank you. And I love when you start like that. It just makes us really, really get inspired and motivated. But how did you get the name Dr. Breakthrough? How did that happen?
Great question. You know, Willie Jolly, who's a good friend of mine, I speak a lot with him, and also Les Brown, which I'm sure you know. But Willie and I were speaking at Howard University. He said, Doc, you're Dr. Stan Harris. He said, but you know what? When you do your when you speak, you break boards and bricks and things demonstrating. He said, so your branding should be Dr. Breakthrough. He said, because you've had more breakthroughs than anybody I know. He said, you explain the breakthrough concept better than anybody I know. And he said, when you get done speaking, you have an expectation to the people, and you've laid it out exactly what they need to do. He said, so from now on, your branding should be Dr. Breakthrough. He said, I'm dubbing you Dr. Breakthrough. And I said, well, I'll try to live the rest of my life to make sure that's true. And that's what we're about. But seriously, I say, again, my wife Nadia, we say we're a covenant couple, building covenant relationships based on the covenant of promise. And we aspire to inspire breakthroughs even after we've expired. And my definition of a breakthrough is exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. And I'm so excited because that's what you are all about. And your listeners, I'm telling you, and those viewers, they're going to get a breakthrough today. If not, at least they're going to get the formula. And I'll say this and I'll turn it back to you. As Dr. Breakthrough, I can't provide the breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. But when people follow my breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides the breakthrough they desire and deserve.
Oh, I love that. I do. I love that so much. Do you really always have a free gift for your listeners?
I do. As a matter of fact, everybody who has a smartphone, right? Hopefully they don't have a dumb phone. But everybody has a smartphone. Here's what happens. So a lot of times I speak, people are like, man, you speak so fast and I want to get your stuff. So I made sure, and somebody taught me years ago is you want to always give back, right? And I believe we're blessed to be a blessing as a minister of the gospel. So everybody that's listening or watching, they're going to get 33 short little audios, and they're going to get over 1,000 of my most powerful breakthrough quotes All they have to do is go into their app store and download the free, I said free, Dr. Breakthrough app. Now, just so you know, it cost me thousands and thousands of dollars for this app to be produced. And today, even up to today, I still pay $49 every single month. So it's free to all your listeners. It costs me thousands of dollars. But again, why do I do this? Because I don't want people, sometimes we speakers and presenters and so forth, like I have books and materials that I make available and so forth. But I want every single person, if they don't have a dime, I just want them to have this free gift. And besides that, I know that if you give, because I've received so much, I have a debt now that I want to give. And besides that, Dawn, I'm kind of a marketer too. And so I know that when they get my free little audios and powerful quotes are like, man, if this guy gives me this for free, then buying his stuff is going to be worth the while. So it still balances out. But I want everybody to get that free. And I'll tell you, I get people constantly say, man, this is crazy. This is one of the best apps I've ever received. I can't believe you're doing it free. And I said, well, receive it, watch free. I may change my mind later on. But right now, absolutely free. So just Dr. Breakthrough, no period, just DR Break, B-R-E-A-K, through, T-H-R-O-U-G-H. And that's my gift to you. And again, Dawn, I just want to say I appreciate what you are doing with this show.
Oh, thank you so much. And I agree too. I mean, the value of what you receive sometimes doesn't have to be a $10,000 product. It can be something as simple as the incredible app that you have, and pouring into others and serving others, I feel is why we're even on this planet. I mean, we're supposed to serve others. And then when they find the value in something like that, that's for free, of course, then they'll look for other resources that you have. So thank you so much for sharing that. I hope all you listeners out there and viewers are absolutely downloading that app now. You can hit pause, go download the app, and then jump back on. Make sure you're paying attention to the rest of this.
By the way, make sure you click on to accept push button notifications, because almost on a day or every other day at least, I send out a powerful quote or tip or things like that. And so that push button notification allows that to come right through your phone in that app.
That's a really great tip. We want to make sure that you guys have that too. And, I remember hearing, and I want you to share a little bit, is it true that I believe you were about 6 years old, you were actually beaten up by a gang of kids?
Yes, I grew up in what they call the ghettos, the inner city of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I was out in the middle of the field playing, and I was just, like I said, 6-year-old boy. By the way, my dad left when I was 3, never came back, never called, never sent mom a dime or whatever else. But I'm out playing, and a gang of teenagers start coming my way. Now, you've ever felt it where your body says something's wrong, right? And you're like, and so my little 6-year-old mind, I'm trying to figure out, but I know something's wrong. And these guys, but I see them coming, but I'm so afraid. I was like paralyzed in my tracks. And they grabbed me, the guy hit me in the stomach, bam. And again, I'm just a 6-year-old boy. So he knocked the air out of me, and I'm trying to breathe. I can't breathe. And they start punching all over. I'm just a 6-year-old boy. I wasn't bothering anybody. Beating all over me. And Dawn, sad to say, they picked me up, slammed me on the ground. They started stomping on me like I was an ant or a roach. And then again, punching and beating. By the time I'm bleeding from everywhere you can bleed, you would think that was enough, but that wasn't enough. The one guy flipped me over and took a great big old bucket of tar, and they poured the tar on my face, poured it on my body. They took a bunch of feathers, they threw them on me, and they left me there. And thank God somebody found me, rushed me to the hospital. And thank God the tar wasn't hot, but it was thick, almost suffocated. But I came through that. Somebody said what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. And that was a terrible situation. And we still have a lot of terrible bullying going on today. And so I speak a lot in schools and empowering young people to go from being what I say a victim to a victor. Yes. But there's a lot of people that are hurting today, and a lot of people going through a lot of things. And sometimes when people, they see the different things that's going on in my life, they just think, oh, this guy's just had it good his whole life. And I'm like, no. But I want people to know that within your pain, there was hidden power, because the pain of being beaten, tarred, and feathered caused me to say, I want to learn how to protect myself. My little 6-year-old mind, I just remember saying, this is not going to happen to me again. I'm going to learn how to protect myself. And literally, God, he situated things where my mother wanted a free month of karate lessons. Now, I got 4 brothers. None of them were interested. I went with her, and I'm watching. Now, keep in mind, now, I make up this decision, right? I make this decision. Now she gets this free month of karate lessons. I go with her. They're kicking, chopping, screaming, hollering. I think, man, this is great. And then her free month ran out. I was like, oh, man. And so then she started paying. And I tell people, free is good, but when you're serious, you're willing to invest. as she started paying. Every month she got better and better. And Don, one month she got too good. Now you got to ask me what's too good.
What's too good?
Her and her boyfriend got in a fight. She knocked him out. She hit him with a side kick in the jaw and knocked him out. And I looked at my brother Ron, and Ronnie looked at Lonnie. We looked at the guy on the ground. We said, man, whatever you do, don't mess with my mama. My mama's bad, man. My mama's bad. But that's when I said, if martial arts could take a 5'1" woman and empower her to knock out a 6-foot man, I said, this is my answer. And that's what got me started. And then I went on to become a champion. But that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the pain, if it wasn't for the turmoil. And somebody right now, you're going through something terrible. And it is terrible. But I want you to know, my friend, literally within your pain is hidden power. And you can take and harness that power to create profits.
Oh my gosh. You know, so many times we see the glory, but we don't know the story. We don't know what happened beforehand. And we think people are lucky or they're just in the right place at the right time. But sometimes it's all that pain that you've gone through. And when the pain is great enough, you're ready to make a change. Doesn't matter what it is. And, you know, you talked about your mom then investing in the martial arts and karate. And, you know, I believe that it's always an investment. First of all, if the value is great enough, the investment never matters. That's number one. But number two, it's never an expense. If you look at things as an expense, it just has a different type of a mindset. So you have to invest in yourself. So the fact that she invested, I love that you said that, and that you joined with her has really been empowering. But congratulations to her. Kudos to her.
Yeah, by the way, you said behind the glory is always story. My wife, one of our businesses, we help people publish on books, and a pastor friend of mine for 20 years has been wanting to write a book. And he finally got the information to my wife. She got it done. And the name of the book is You See the Glory. Now let me tell you my story.
It's so true, though. I mean, it really is. We just see what's on the outside or the end result, and we don't know what. We all have to pay our 10,000 hours. We all have to pay at the door. None of us have walked in this, you know, without going through and doing the do and having the pain associated with it. But, you know, we're on a network marketing show. This is a direct sales TV show.
Okay.
You weren't really into network marketing when you first heard about it. And, you know, tell us a little bit about that. You were probably one of the protesters on network marketing.
Yes. Unfortunately, I was totally, even as a minister of the gospel, believe it or not, I would preach and be against it because an older minister that I really revered and looked up to, who was one of my mentors, for some reason he was against it. I never really checked to find out why. I figured he was older and wiser, so I was against it. So I literally was prejudiced, prejudged. I was against it, like a lot of people in this industry. But, you know, Don, I think the fact that I was so against it is the thing that created my great success when I finally saw the light. Because here's what happened. People said, wait a minute, this is a guy that was so against it. He actually would speak against it sometimes from the pulpit, and now he's involved. Well, if he's involved, it's got to be good, right? So kind of like in the Bible, you know, Saul, who was killing Christians, and then he saw the light and got knocked off his horse and literally became Paul and was persecuted. And when it dawned on me that this business was a way, literally, by the way, I found out also Jesus was the greatest networker, and through his 12, and by the way, one of his success lines became bad. I don't use the term downline and upline. I like success line. Success line means each of us creates a success for the rest of us.
I love that.
But finding out, though, that I was able to take a product or service that enhanced and helped me, and then I was able to help others, and then I was like, you pay me? I'm taking something that helps me. I'm using something that helps me. I'm sharing it with others and it helps them, which, by the way, we all do that every day anyway, all day, every day. Yet so I tell people this. Actually, when I saw the light, it dawned on me. I've been doing network marketing my whole life. I just wasn't getting paid for it.
Absolutely. We all have, right? I mean, I just shared yesterday that our kids started network marketing when they're 5 years old. They get home from kindergarten and they come over preschool and they come home and they're like, for show and tell, Johnny brought this dinosaur and I want this dinosaur now. And we go out and we get this dinosaur. I remember when my kids were little and there was this Elmo doll. It was like a Tickle Me Elmo. And it was literally like you couldn't find it. And people were selling it like through whatever, Craigslist or whatever, for thousands of dollars. And the doll was like $20. And it's because it was so, you couldn't get it anymore. It was like sold out within like the first week. It was Tickle Me Elmo. I'll never forget it. And we were fortunate enough to get one, but at the regular price. But we're doing network marketing each and every single day, and like you said, we're just not getting paid for it. So, but thank you for sharing that. What do you love best about this industry or this profession? What do you think that you love best about it?
Well, I always teach people there's 3 levels of success, and number 1 is making money. Number 2 is making a difference. But number 3, the highest level, is making money while you make a difference. And this industry allows a person to do just that, to make money like what you're doing by making a difference. See, we don't make our money at the expense of people like some people think. We make our money at the service of people. And what I love is network marketing, home-based business can take the average person and empower them to create above average income in below average time. I mean, that to me is the power of leverage. And by the way, most people will never be a CEO, Chief Executive Officer. Most people never get the chance to be a CFO, Chief Financial Officer. Most people never get to be a COO, Chief Operating Officer. But as Dr. Breakthrough, when I speak to my audiences, I usually dub them as a CLO. And CLO stands for Chief Leveraging Officer. Ooh, see, our committee said if I had a lever long enough and a prop strong enough, I could single-handedly move the world. So the power of leverage. So Jim Rohn, that I used to travel and speak with before he passed, he used to always talk about the power which you lack and anything else you can make up for in leverage. So your skill set and all that. And if you don't have the education, if you don't have all these other things, but through leverage. And network marketing allows that. And by the way, I'm working on a brand new topic I'm going to speak on. I've never spoken on yet, but it's called the power of why every minority ought to be part of network marketing and multi-level. Just real quick, for one reason is because you get to choose your own ceiling. There's nobody that can tell you what you can't do. It doesn't matter what color, what class, male, female. I mean, network marketing to me is one of the most powerful things of being diversified and being a way where literally it levels the playing field. So whether you have a doctorate degree or whether you just say, how will we going to give? It doesn't matter. You can be successful. So I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. And here's another reason, because I never believed in myself. And most of what I did in my early life is because somebody who saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself, but I respected them. They believed I could do things. And so because they believed in me, I would just try it and it would work. And now, my friend, I found out through network marketing, a home-based business, because one guy said to me years ago, he said, Doc, what you're doing, you're incredible. He said, but man, you can't be duplicated. He said, you need a system, you need a way that you can help people. And that's another thing of getting involved in home-based business. And by the way, I tell people I used to be a college professor, and I was one of those guys who could totally promulgate my esoteric cogitations and articulate my superficial sentimentality, anyway, all that stuff. Literally, I jokingly say, somebody said, hey, how'd you like to start making more money in a month? You make an entire year. And I'm like, I'm not going back to college, 12 years of schooling, 12 years of college, 24 years, I'm done. They said, no, we can mentor you. And literally, through some mentorship and through this model and leverage, I was able to start making more money in the month than I made an entire year as a college professor. And I jokingly say to people, I walked into my boss, I said, boss, I'm sorry, I can't work for you anymore. I got eye trouble. He said, Doc, what's wrong with your eyes? I said, I can't see myself working for you anymore. And that was 1990. And ever since then, I've been psychologically unemployable. And when I married my wife, I retired her off her job. So she's never had to work outside the home since we married.
Oh, I love that. It's so great when you can bring your spouse home. I was able to bring my spouse home too. He's home now as well. And even your parents, so many people are retiring their parents. Like, how would that feel if you were able to bring your mom or your dad home who've been working for so long? And how many times do you hear people say, I'm going to be working until I die? I'm going to be working until, way past Social Security age. First of all, Social Security is probably never going to be there by the time I get there. Right. But, it would be so rewarding to be able to bring them home. And you said something that I wanted to just piggyback on. You talked about everybody being on the same playing field. And that's what I love too so much about this profession is it really, I know it sounds cliche, but it really is ordinary people just doing extraordinary things. This business is for everyone, but it doesn't mean that everyone will do this business. No discrimination, no degrees needed. You could be a high school dropout or you could be a doctor with 20 degrees. It doesn't matter as long as you have the will, determination, commitment, drive, passion to do this. You can be successful, right? I mean, do you agree that anybody can be successful, but not everybody will? Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. And that's why I teach and train to help those who want to be successful to get there. So yes.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important that we continue to motivate, inspire, and lift each other up, because we have to pour that belief, like somebody did with you, into that other person until they believe in themselves.
That's what I love about this is, like, I tell people, like training wheels is like, we get to speak life into people and believe, a lot of people in corporate America, they just get beat on and beat on and beat on in a regular job, right? Jump out of bed, get on the journey of the broke, 45 years later, end up just over broke. But I tell people, I take them from having a job to being like Job. It's spelled the same, but means different. Job in the Bible, joyously, outrageously blessed. And I'll ask congregations, how many of you like to just have a job, or do you rather be joyously, outrageously blessed? And everybody says joyously, outrageously blessed. And again, if you love what you do, that's fine. I tell people, by the way, if you love what you do from 9 to 5, that's your business. If not, that's our business.
That's true. And the fact that we're talking about, people just being miserable sometimes where they're working and they don't think that there's another way. And there really, truly is. So talk to us a little bit about
just that extra income, right? Because you just never know. You always want you just never know if you're going to get that pink slip. You just never know if something happens. But Warren Buffett said it best. He said, "You'll work until you die, unless you learn to make money in your sleep." And you alluded to that a few minutes ago. And so people need to have a plan B or plan C. Even like the tragedies that are going around the world, sometimes you can't work for a while or something. What do you do in a situation like that, right? And so that's why you've got to have a plan, not just a plan A, plan B, C, and D sometimes.
You really do. And, it's our responsibility to secure our financial house. So right. I don't care how long you're working for a company or what rank you are or what level you are within the organization, you're still at the disposal, and most companies are at-will companies, and right. That pink slip could come tomorrow. So it's our responsibility to really secure our own financial house and residual income. I'm an accountant I'm a retired recovering accountant for 27 years. So I get residual income and passive income and what this can do for you. And really, honestly, when you go to bed at night and you wake up in the morning and there's a transaction that happened and you have money in your account, like that doesn't happen with a traditional job. And there are people that love their jobs. And this, I'm a really big professor of network marketing, and I believe in the profession, but I also believe that there are people that love their jobs. This is not about those viewers out there saying, well, I want to stay where I am. This is about explaining about passive income, residual income, plan Bs. Look at, the devastation that does happen around the world, and Texas, how it just got hit so hard. And, I know my dad, when he got sick right before he passed away, if it wasn't for network marketing, I would not have been able to sit by his bedside for 2 weeks, hold his hand, be there for him before he passed. Like, I would not have been able to do that. My time would have ran out for sick time at work. I might not have got paid. And meanwhile, my business was probably one of the highest that it was at that time because I built the foundation before that occurred. So it's really important for people to understand that it is not only, in my eyes, a better way, but it's a required way for people to have a plan B, C, and D. Share with us a little bit about the Dr. Breakthroughpreneur concept.
Well, a breakthroughpreneur, to me, is one, again, who focuses, get this now, on breaking to their dreams, and in the process will break through any barrier that tries to hinder them from reaching their success. So a breakthroughpreneur, again, is just simply, because when you think about it, entrepreneurship is totally different than what most of us been trained to go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a good job, live happily ever after, and that doesn't work in most people's case. So be an entrepreneur, but really, I think breakthroughpreneur, when you understand the fact of there's barriers, and this is what happens. A lot of people get in this industry and they get blown out of the water because of all the barriers. See, between where you are and where you want to be, there's always something in between, and it's called barriers. The amount of money you make versus what you like to make, in between is something called barriers, right? The team a person has versus what they want. Well, most people think those barriers were made to stop them, and they're like, oh man, this is harder than I thought it was, I'm done. But see, when I train people to be a breakthroughpreneur and to understand barriers were only made to stop those who are not sincere, and those who are not committed, but to those of us who are sincerely committed, barriers were made to be broken. And the strength it takes to break through that barrier is the strength it takes to maintain that next level of success. And so what I want people to understand front. So as a breakthroughpreneur, again, that we're going to, whatever gets in our way, we're going to break through it to provide a product or a service to people for profit with pleasure. If you provide a service or product to people and there's no profit, you're just a missionary. And I'm a minister of the gospel. I'm for missionaries. I support. But too many people think they're in business. They're actually just doing mission work because there's no profit. But if you provide a service or product to people, for profit, but there's no pleasure, you're miserable. And nobody, why be miserable? However, when you provide a product or service to people for profit with pleasure, eventually you'll be a millionaire. And by the way, millionaire status today is just middle class. So, And by the way, I always tell people, I'm against get-rich-quick schemes, just like I'm against never-get-rich jobs. I'm for get-rich-quicker systems. And that's why we teach as a breakthroughpreneur. It's amazing to me. People will spend 40 years, right? And to get this so-called retirement thing that usually is retiring on 40% of what they couldn't afford to live off in the first place. But then 2 to 5 years and they're like, oh man, I'm not rich yet. This doesn't make, it may take you, I don't know how long it will take you, but I just know this, my friend. I do know that if you have the concept of a breakthroughpreneur, that we're going to break, there are going to be barriers, but guess what? Those barriers, I can break through them, I can go over them, I can go around them, and I'm not stopping. And here's my breakthroughpreneur concept, our quote that I want everybody to get, and it's in the app, by the way. But when I make up my mind to do something, God orchestrates circumstances to align themselves in my favor. When I say I can't, my mind stops trying. But when I ask, how can I? My mind keeps searching till it finds a way. There's a way, and I will find it. And if not, I'll invent it.
Yes. Love it. We're getting down to the end of the show. I want you to, I know it went so fast. I can't believe it. But I want you to leave everyone here with a tip that you can. But I also want you to please, before the show is over, make sure you give everybody your contact information. How can they reach you? How can they get in touch with Dr. Breakthrough? So share one tip as a takeaway and then how they can reach you.
Okay. Well, first of all, get a mentor. The most powerful, easiest, reliable way of doing anything is through mentorship. Socrates mentored Plato, and then Plato mentored Aristotle. Aristotle mentored Alexander the Great, and then Benjamin Graham mentored Warren Buffett. William E. Bailey, who was one of my main mentors, by the way, mentored Les Brown and Jim Rohn, and they both turned around and mentored millions. Well, then Jim mentored Tony Robbins, who mentored tens of millions. It was Andrew Carnegie that mentored Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill mentored W. Clement Stone. It was in the Bible, Moses mentored Joshua, and Joshua mentored some, and Elijah mentored Elisha. Elisha mentored this widow woman who was able to start a business and live the rest of her life on the prophets. And then Jesus mentored disciples, and he said something powerful. He said, the works that I do shall you do also, and greater works. So when you have a mentor, you not just have the possibility of doing what a mentor does, but literally you can double what a mentor does. Here's what I teach all the people I train. If you believe like I believe and do like I do, what happens for me can happen for you, but because I'm not the standard, it can happen even better for you, and that's my desire. And so I built one team from 0 to 13,089 people, my wife and I. Then another team, unfortunately that company had problems later on. We built another team from 0 to 22,000 people. And you mentioned another company, 827 personally sponsored, and the 1.5 million. Now I just train and speak for different companies. But I wrote a book, how to build a big team fast. I do training on that and so forth. And by the way, I want to give them another free tip. You've got to sell. You've got to learn the art of, I call it the art of selling without selling, or how to sell without being a sellout. So if you go to www.breakthroughsellingsystems with S, breakthroughsellingsystems.com, you can see a little 2-minute video, and you can sign up for the free 40-minute webinar that will teach you what I call the art of selling without selling, or how to sell without being a sellout. And then if they'd like to get a copy of the book or whatever, they can just go to www.howtobuildabigteamfast.com. Howtobuildabigteamfast.com. So my wife and I, again, we just love traveling and empowering people. And again, we love what you're doing. We love what this industry is all about. If you want to call me personally, my number is 717-275-3508. Now I won't answer. Leave a message. I promise to get back to you. 717-275-3508. And my regular website is just drbreakthrough.com, drbreakthrough.com. But Dawn, again, thank you. And I want every listener to download the app for free. And again, go to www.breakthroughsellingsystems with an S. Watch that little free 2-minute piece, and you can sign up for the 40-minute webinar. I believe it'll change your life as my life has been enriched. And I just want to pass on to others. I don't know it all, but I know some things that really work for me, and I want you to have some things that will work for you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. And everyone, you know how to reach me, DawnFerentino.com, and you can certainly find me on Facebook at Dawn Baron Ferentino. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Breakthrough, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care.